Hello, my name's Allison Bennett. I just wanted to talk really fast about my lesson because I've already gone way over the time limit. One, I know it's not the format it's supposed to be in, but I'm still gonna use it. I can still use it in the classroom, and I'm still proud of it. It could be more dense though. Like it could be more in depth. For ELLs, I have included audio recordings of each slide that I can, reading it for them, so that can cut down on language barriers, and that would also be good for just auditory learners who don't want to sit there and read the slides, or students who struggle with reading in general, so they can still receive the content knowledge despite their deficiencies. For diversity and culture, the students have to identify where the settlers are coming from in early Alabama in different regions, because different people inhabited different parts of Alabama. For differentiation, I provided a variety of resources for students to use on their assignments. There's videos, there's like audio recordings, there's many different types of readings for them to choose from, and a whole bunch of maps too for my visual learners. Oh, also with the ELLs, they like the maps too. For literature integration, students are researching, looking for articles that they can use or data that they can use in their slides, so they're reading that informational literature. There is a website that I included that students can use. They can use their textbook. There is an easy to read passage that I included. So there is a lot of reading. The different subjects that can be found in this besides social studies are ELA, with all of the reading and writing that takes place in this lesson, and science, because you're learning about, well, you have the opportunity to learn about how like land masses have formed and how what has created our ecosystems around here and our natural resources. So all right, I gotta cut this off because I'm already 3 minutes in on, this is gonna be a 15-minute assignment. Bye. Hello, fourth graders, and welcome to our social studies class today. Today we're gonna be talking about Alabama and its natural resources and where we can find them. On this next slide here, if you would, please look at your computers, and in this little rectangle at the bottom, type what you know. This rectangle down here. Share your thoughts about natural resources. What do you know about natural resources? Or what do you think you know about natural resources? What are natural resources? Do you know of any? Can you list them? Can you find pictures of them? Just anything you can think of about natural resources, let's just share it here, and in a few minutes we'll discuss it. And then we would have a whole group discussion about natural resources and what they are, which would lead into the different types of natural resources, which are on the next slide. There are two types of natural resources. There are renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are resources that are natural resources that can easily be replenished. We can use these resources over and over again. We can just make more as we need them. And these include things like crops, timber, animals. And then we have non-renewable resources, and these resources are not easy to replenish. Once we use them up, we cannot create more of that substance in our lifetime. And some resources that fall under this category are like coal, oil, gas, and that sort of thing. So, quick, really fast, tell me what a renewable resource is and a non-renewable resource. As fast as you can. All right. So that's just a quick little game. Not really a game, but just a game-like aspect to just help engagement. Okay. On this next page, we have a link that's going to take us to an article, well, not an article, a reading passage that we are going to read together. If it ever loads. And this PDF, this reading passage, I stole it from a Teachers Pay Teachers lesson, but I didn't use her lesson. I just stole her reading passage because I'm pretty sure she created it herself. And it's hard to find reading passages about the natural resources in Alabama that are appropriate for fourth graders or at their reading level. So, and a lot of the other resources that I used were, I know that they're above their reading level for most of them. And it's good for them to stretch and to try and read things that are above their reading level, but I don't want to just over encumber them with it. So we also have this nice little reading passage that's easy for fourth grade eyes. And we would do popcorn reading for this, where I would just pick students to read like each paragraph and then move on to our next slide. Oh, yes. Okay. The next series of slides, these are just different maps of Alabama that students may want to use on our big assignment that's coming up in just a few slides. But there's a couple of these. They may not use them, but they may use them. Okay, I'm going to try to open this page, but it crashed on me earlier, so we're just going to see. But this page has a video and links to other videos that are very appropriate to the topic and would help. If students would sit there and listen to them, they could apply them to their assignment coming up. And there's other resources on this webpage too. There's a little reading passage that could have some information. There is a list of information at the bottom where they got their sources and maps and all sorts of stuff that would be really beneficial for students. If I can just show you this page, I'm not even going to show you the video. You can watch the video on your own time. It's a good video, but I'm scared that it's going to crash my computer right now. And then we've got recommended resources down here. This is the gold mine for this project coming up. Okay. I just wanted to show y'all that a little bit. I wish I could show y'all a little bit of the video, but I can't. Okay, so now we're getting into the student work part of the assignment or of the lesson plan. So students will use their resources and they'll work in groups. I will separate students into groups of 5 and then assign them a region of Alabama to do this research on. Okay. So let me cut and pretend I'm talking to students now. On your group project, you can use your textbook, resources from this presentation, or from Alabama Virtual Library to research information about one of Alabama's geographic regions to share on a slide with your classmates. Each slide must include the names of each student in the group, description of the ecosystems and landforms, non-renewable resources, renewable resources, and description of settlers who inhabited the area. Okay, so then once they see their instructions, on this next page, it should just open up, but it might take me to a link to it. But on the next page is just a Google slide, or Google Slides. Yes, here we go. And then each group will have their own slide over here on the left whenever it pops up. See, there's Piedmont, Upland, East Gulf Coastal Plain. And there's 3 more down there. But each group will have their own slide, and then they can decide how they put that information on there. Or if they wanted to use a poster, they could do a poster too, because some kids would rather work analog instead of digital. That doesn't make sense, but it makes sense, and you know it. Okay, so the next slide, after we make our slides, the students are going to share them with one another, like get up in front of the class and present their slide and tell them the information that they saw. And then after that, not the last thing on this lesson, but close to it, we have a quiz about the different regions in Alabama and their natural resources. And I've also included in this quiz some questions about slavery and like the early Alabama economy, which I didn't address as much as I wish I had in the actual lesson. And it's definitely I feel just please look at it as the direction I want to go with this lesson and not that it is lacking, because I know it's lacking, but I just want you to know that like I wanted this to be a deeper and more what's the word? I wanted this to be a deeper lesson than what it is. And I wanted to incorporate more elements into it than I did. But anyway, this little quiz, once they complete that, I can save it as like a Google form, or well, it's a Google form, this is, but I will save it as like a Google spreadsheet or whatever, and then I'll have everyone's assessment right there ready to go. And then after we do that, for an extension of this lesson, what I would do is, you can't see what this is going to be yet. Okay, so I have this blank map of Alabama, and what I would do to extend this lesson is I would prefer to print this out. Students could work on it digitally if they wanted to, but I think it would be more fun to print it out and then have students draw out the different regions of Alabama and like make their own map of where the natural resources came from in Alabama. And then like they get to decide what symbols they're going to use. They get to design the map key. They get to draw the map. They are in charge of this. They create this. And I think that would be a great way of solidifying that information, helping to identify like the actual location of where they're talking about instead of just like it being abstract words that they don't know what it means. But yeah, that's my lesson. And thank you for watching.